Hello and welcome to another edition of Capper Comparison Picks. I am Ranj and today I will be giving you some more Capper Comparison Picks for UFC Vegas 27, some more prelim fights. I did do some early prelim fights yesterday, 2 of them. I know, not many, but nonetheless, check them out anyway. And we'll get right into this because I figure on average I take roughly about 10 minutes per fight, give or take a few, depending on if I go off on a little, go off topic or not, or if I have to get in depth with anything, with the breakdown or anything. But anyway, and if it's close. But if it's a couple of these are Capper consensuses. So let's get into it. We got the featherweight fight between Joshua Kulibao, and he's taking on Yilan Shah, the Wolverine, out of China. Okay, Joshua Kulibao is the pretty big favorite, minus 250, according to Bovada. That's right. And he's coming off a draw against Charles Jourdain. He fights out of Igor MMA in Sydney, Australia. He's the only person on the Tapology that fights out of there, I think. Maybe a couple others, I can't remember, but he's the only one I knew. He's got a 2-inch height and a 2-inch reach advantage over the Chinese Yilan Shah. Yilan Shah comes in with a record of 19-6. 2-1 underdog. Plus 200 meaning you make a $100 bet, you're going to get $200 and your $100 back. Okay, he is fighting out of Long Yun MMA. That's in Harbin, China. This is his UFC debut. He's coming out of, his last fight was a win against Tan Zhao Wang, rear naked choke round 1. That's in the Zhu Cheng King promotion. A lot of people seem to be fading these Chinese organization like fight promotions. Another one before the Zhu Cheng King was the WLF Wars, which stands for Wu Lin Fang. The Wu Lin Fang WLF Warriors or whatever, that's another fight promotion. And I think the last UFC event where they had like four fighters out of China, I want to say they may have all lost, all out of Wu Lin Fang. So a lot of the cappers I noticed are fading this Yilan Shah, the Wolverine. Okay, so let's start with the favorite in Joshua Kulibao. Minus 250 favorite, no value there, but nonetheless, he is 26 years old. Shah is unknown. Tapology and Sheerdog did not know how old Yilan Shah is. Okay, taking Kuya, we've got Will Martin. He's got another baby coming on the way, so he says. So he's been kind of busy, and he honestly said he didn't have time to watch a lot of tape study for this fight, and it was hard to find stuff on Yilan Shah. So take this pick for what it is with the partial research. He just wanted to state that. Also, it's your boy, eBay's. He's saying Kulibao by decision. Then we've got James Lynch, interviewer extraordinaire. James Lynch, another one that says full transparency. He doesn't watch tape. He doesn't watch. He only watches, the live fights. He doesn't go back and rewatch fights. He doesn't have time for that. So these picks that he makes are from previous knowledge of the fighter and Tapology stats, and looking at the past fight schedule and whatnot. Then we've got Ronnie's MMA breakdowns. Ronnie is leaning Kulibao, but he said stay away from this fight in a betting aspect. He once again, Shah, big question mark. Not a lot known about this Yilan Shah. And finally, to top it all off, King of Crackdowns is saying he's saying a TKO for Kulibao in the first round, completely fading Shah, making this a full capper consensus. A full capper consensus is when all the cappers, handicappers, take the same side. Usually my daughter does the dance, but she's up in bed already because it is getting late. Okay, so I'm not going against the consensus. I'm also taking Joshua Kulibao. I think he should be able to get it done against the unknown Yilan Shah. I don't feel confident putting a bet on this or anything. I will, after the weigh-ins, maybe when I'm discussing this, you know, after the face-offs, like last look live stream, I may revisit this and maybe I'll get more of a confident pick. But right now I'm gonna go with Josh Kulibao. And I'm going to say within distance, hopefully bringing that to a plus money odds. If you didn't notice, I got the shirts, plus money junkie. It's beta. It's in test. I don't know if this is. It's all right. Pretty simple, you know. It's a simple shirt, but I'm still thinking about different ideas. You know, I'm not sold on. I want a couple different options, if you will. Okay, so moving on. Next we've got the flyweight fight between Victor Rodriguez, vicious Victor Rodriguez is taking on the Bulldog, Bruno Silva. Victor Rodriguez is the big underdog, plus 265. He's got a record of 7-3 as a professional. He's coming off a loss. He had a head kick, round 1 loss against Adrian Yanez. He fights out of AK-47 Martial Arts. That's in, Soldotna, Alaska. That Alaskan scene, But you know what? Isn't that Beverly Hills Ninja? Isn't he from that? Yeah, and he just had a dominant win last week. Anyway. Victor Rodriguez has a 1-inch height, 1-inch reach advantage, but he is the underdog against the 3.5 to 1 favorite, Bruno Silva. That's right. The 11-5-2 professional fighter is a minus 350 favorite here, according to Bovada. Yuck. Bruno Silva is 31. Victor Rodriguez is 28. I don't like these big wide odds. I'm comfortable with it. I like to find that plus money, and I don't want to have to force to be taking the underdog when I don't want to. So, let's see. Let's start with the favorite. We've got taking Bruno Silva. King of Crackdowns, KFC. He is saying submission, second round for Silva. Bruno Silva fights out of Fight Ready, that's right, in Scottsdale, Arizona. He's got that striking coach there, Eddie Cha. He's a renowned striking coach. He's a couple of people from Fight Ready that I'm going to list a couple people, and some of them have fights coming. So just so they're all Fight Ready, I'm sure they train together once they're. For example, Leandro Pitbull Hugo is fighting this Friday in Bellator against Darren Caldwell. I think it's a co-main event, right? Then we've got the Korean Zombie, Chan Sung Jung. He's taking on Dan Ige, June 19th. And other notable fighters out of Fight Ready are Henry Cejudo. I know he's retired. Frankie Sains, he's a coach also. Drakkar Klose, Hunter Azure, just to name, and then there's more, but I just listed until I ran out of room. So, okay. He is coming off a win against JP Bays, counter right, round 2 knockout, which is pretty good for Bruno Silva. And let's see. Let's continue. I'm sorry I didn't mention that stuff earlier. Okay, also taking Bruno Silva is Ronnie from Ronnie's MMA Breakdowns. He's saying inside the distance, within distance for Silva. Then we've got James Lynch. And James Lynch usually doesn't do method, but he did here. He's got him winning by KO in the second. There you go, James Lynch. There you go with that, with the detailed prediction. It's your boy eBay's also is going with a second round TKO. I don't know, they like that second round. And finally, Will Martin is also saying Silva inside the distance, so WD stands for within distance. That's another full capper consensus. But this is, you know, big favorites like that, minus 350 favorite. Of course, that's why I appreciate all you guys giving me at least a method to try to get that 350 up to a plus number. Once you call the round and method, like James Lynch and eBay's, definitely a plus number. Will Martin, Ronnie, within distance, that may bring it to a plus number. I'm not really quite sure. Cam Crackdown, submission second round, definitely a plus number. Thank you, Plus Money Junkies. Thank you. I'm going to have to fade Victor Rodriguez with the capper consensus. Not going against them. Not in this case, anyway. I'm also taking Bruno Silva. And looks like round 2, definitely round 2. We'll say, yeah, we'll just say TKO second. Hopefully it'll be like a, you know, maybe take him down, then do a little bit of ground and pound. The ref will stop it. That's what I'm foreseeing. Moving on. Finally, let's time check it. Oh, I'm doing great. Speeding through this. Usually I take 10 minutes, but like I said, these are full capper consensuses, big favorites, so there's no reason to waste time on that stuff, right? So let's keep going. Make this a short video. I can start finishing my research for tomorrow's main card fights. Or no, tomorrow's select fights, because we got a couple prelims left, and the Jack Hermanson, Edmund Shabazian, which is the curtain opener for the main card. But finishing off this show, let's go. We got Claudio Silva taking on Court McGee. Court the Crusher. McGee is, you know, he's got this story about he rose above the substance abuse. He had like he's a drug addict and all this, and he's coming off 3 losses in a row. Yeesh. He lost to Carlos Condit most recently by unanimous decision. Then he lost to Sean Brady and Diego Lima, which you can't take any. All 3 of those names are pretty big names in UFC. And they were all by decision. I think Diego Lima, I think that one might have even been a split decision. Sean Brady, of course, you know, wrestled him and got a unanimous decision, got the control time and all that. He's fighting out of the Pit, well, actually elevated Pit fight team, which is in Orem, Utah. The Pit is actually Chuck Liddell's school in California. So this other one is like a satellite school, if you will. He's got Court McGee has got a 4.5-inch reach advantage over Claudio Silva. And this is a pretty, you know what? Bovada actually had this at minus 110, minus 110. But then I went to bet online and noticed they actually have a favorite at an underdog. Silva is a slight underdog, still a minus number, minus 101. Court McGee, minus 119 favorite, okay? So, continuing with the favorite, Court McGee, he's 19-10. Like I said, he's coming up to back losses. And he's taking on Claudio Hannibal Silva. His last fight was a loss to James Krause by unanimous decision. Prior to that loss to James Krause, he was on a 14-fight win streak. And one of those wins was against Leon Edwards, notable name. He fights out of American Top Team. Man, are they active. You pull them up on Tapology, and there's not even enough room to fit all the fighters with fights in the UFC coming up in the next couple months. I'll just list the ones I did manage to fit on here. Greg Hardy, American Top Team, fighting Tai Tuivasa. Rodrigo Nascimento is fighting Alan Boudreaux. Charles Boston Strong Rosa is fighting Justin James. Renato Moicano is fighting Jai Herbert. Chris Gutzmacher is fighting Rafa Garcia. And of course, y'all know Dustin Poirier is fighting Conor McGregor. There's a couple others in there too. Even PFL or LFA and Bellator fighters. American Top Team is probably the most active facility right now. They're all active, but as in the most fighters with fights scheduled within the next couple months. Okay, let's get down to the nitty grit and see what these cappers have to say. Starting with the favorite, Court McGee, we've got the interviewer, James Lynch. He's saying Court McGee by decision. Then jumping over here, we've got Ronnie from Ronnie's MMA Pit or Breakdowns. Australian guy Ronnie is. I like him. He's saying Silva by submission. Then since we're right over here, we got King of Crackdowns also saying Silva by submission. He's even calling the round. He's saying third round after Court McGee's good and tired. But I don't know, man. Third round's tough to get a submission because they're all slick and sweaty. It's hard to get that, but it kind of happened. But that's why I like round two. Round two, they're a little bit tired out. They're not completely slick and sweaty, Then we've got Will Martin taking Court McGee. And finally, for the tiebreaker, it's your boy, Ebays. And Ebays is taking Claudio Silva. And he's also saying by submission, but he's saying second round. That's what I like, second round. So, there you have it. We got the three cappers taking Claudio Silva, and two taking Court McGee. The ones that are taking Claudio Silva are all saying by submission. I too am gonna take Claudio Silva by submission, and I agree with my boy Ebays, and I think it's gonna be second round. Like I said, they're tired. The opponent that's getting submitted, the victim, is tired a little bit tired by the second round, and he's got a little slick on to him, but he's not as slick and sweaty as. And it takes, you got to have that energy to get the submission. So second round I think is a better fit. Third round, it comes out to who's got more cardio, and I heard this Court McGee has got great cardio. I heard that from a few different cappers. So to recap, time check, late. To recap, I've got Joshua Kulibao beating Yilan Shah within distance. Like I said, I'm going to revisit this, but I am going to play it in a parlay tonight. Then I've got this Bruno Silva beating Victor Rodriguez. I think he's going to get it done. He's knock him out second round. I'm going with, look, second round sub, second round KO, second round TKO, within distance, full capper consensus. Everybody thinks it's not going to go to see the end of it. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty good bet. Second round TKO. And finally, the other Silva, Claudio, Hannibal Silva. I've got him beating McGee by submission in the second round. McGee, once that he brings it to the ground, that's Silva's path to victory, of course. He's great BJJ. He's very talented BJJ practitioner. So there you have it. Gather the info. Place those bets and cash those tickets. I appreciate you watching. Give me that thumbs up. Be sure to share, subscribe if you haven't done that. Hit the bell, because I will be making videos for the rest of the fights on the card. Good luck on these bets, and I will see you next time.